I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you should watch this video. If both of them apply to you, watch it all the way to the end because it will help your trading and it will help you make more money trading, which is I know what you want to do. So that's number 1. If you want to make more money in the markets, watch this entire video. But number 2, if you are annoyed, frustrated, or upset with hunting analogies and deer or turkeys potentially dying in hypothetical examples, don't listen to this video. Let me go through an example about deer hunting. For a lot of the people who are watching this video, you most likely have hunted before or you're at least familiar with how hunting works. And when you go out and hunt, you have tons of opportunity, loads of distractions while you're there, maybe in your deer stand, waiting for the perfect buck to arrive. You might get some doe, you might get some squirrels, you might get some turkeys coming by. But if you're hunting deer, and potentially just one in particular, a nice, strong 12-point buck, you probably should wait for that exact deer. Now, the interesting part in your trading and how this relates to trading is because when you are hunting for something, you want one thing in particular. And 99% of hunters or anyone that I work with or talk with or chat with or converse with, they're going to wait for that opportunity and that opportunity only. And if it doesn't happen that day, if it doesn't happen that week, doesn't happen that month, or maybe it doesn't even happen that season, they are okay with that, knowing that there are opportunities that are going to come later and they're willing to spend the time, energy, effort, and money to be in the right place at hopefully and potentially the right time. And they're going to do their best to really organize everything that fits perfectly with that opportunity. The reason I'm bringing up this analogy is very simple. In trading, you have to develop what you are going to wait for, what you are looking for, and particularly what you are hunting for, and don't get distracted by the turkeys if you're actually deer hunting, right? If that's your goal and objective, if you're looking for a very specific type of trade that's going to take time, energy, and effort, really drill down and know exactly what that type of trade is. And I'll explain it in another way that has nothing to do with hunting at all in this particular chart. I was working with a coach not that long ago that states that individuals go through 3 stages of growth. They have comfort, and then they have growth, and then they have stress. Now, growth is where you, well, shocker, you actually make growth. But if you go too far from your comfort zone, if you go too far into the unknown, if you travel too distant away from what you know, from what you're comfortable with, you're going to go out of growth and you're going to get into stress. And the problem with stress is you're not going to perform well, you're not going to do well, and you're going to have pretty mixed or relatively awful results. Well, what you're going to notice is as I'm drawing this on the screen, the way I hunt deer when I trade and the way that I make sure that I focus on what's comfortable to me and expand into growth is I use long-term moving averages to help me determine where a position is. And based on those long-term moving averages, I'm going to be able to develop a place where I'm comfortable, where I know what's going to happen, where I've back-tested and strategized and I've understood what's going to occur, and I wait and I let all the turkeys go past and I focus on my deer. I use long-term moving averages to keep me in the comfort and growth zones for my trading. I do not stray when I get into the stress zone, which means for me, when you're too far away from long-term moving averages on the 2 major time frames, daily and weekly charts. Coinbase is a really, really beautiful example here on the screen. Looking at Coinbase just over the last year, I was extremely comfortable and I was all up in my comfort zone trading Coinbase into this area right here. When a stock, for me personally, and probably for you, is near its 100 and 200 simple moving average on the daily and or the weekly chart, you should be much more in a zone of comfortability, which is where you're going to make better decisions, where you're going to be more rational, where you're going to be less stressed, and you're not going to make really dumb financial choices because you are in a cool, calm, and collected place. Now, the best drug in the world is comfort. So how do we grow? Well, we grow by growing into the growth zone, the growth opportunities. Also, the growth of your actual account, your monetary possessions, and your portfolio. And the way to do that is through expansion, for me, past, above, or below the moving averages, if I'm going long or if I'm going short. When we start moving past the moving averages, the daily and or the weekly, I'm in a growth zone, which I'm making money, my assets are appreciating, I'm doing well, income is coming in, cash flow is coming in. I'm being rewarded by stepping out of my comfort zone, by leaning into growth, and by enjoying the movement. The number one question I get for traders is, when do you sell? And for me, that is in the stress zone. The stress zone is now where we get too far away from the moving averages. We're too high, and I really, truly do not know what to do. I don't know what the stock is going to do. I don't know if it's going to continue up. I don't know when it's going to pull back. When it's just too far away, I don't know what to do. Therefore, I wait. Like a hunter, waiting for the perfect opportunity. I wait. I don't go just pull the trigger on my gun or pull the trigger on my bow just because I'm bored. You're sitting in a tree stand, you want to do something. I don't have the inclination to just waste ammunition and waste time. But that's what a lot of traders are doing, is they always feel like they have to be trading. The best trades are going to be made when you plan them nice and far in advance. You do not act impulsively. You don't just pull out your bow and shoot the first turkey that runs across your peripherals. You are waiting for your opportunity, for your deer, for your buck. You are zoned in, knowing what you're looking for. And for me, those zones of comfort and growth are the long-term averages on the daily and weekly charts. When we get too far extended from those, I am waiting for something else. I am planning on what will I do if this stock comes back into my comfort zone and then, of course, my growth zone. So this is a great example on Coinbase right here. I talked through some trades recently on my videos that a lot of traders made some really good money on Coinbase down in this particular area. And all up in here was what? This was the growth zone. So this is the growth of my account. This is the growth of my mind. This is the growth of my optimism. This is the growth of my excitement. This is the growth of new opportunities. All those things. It's growth. That's the expansion of your heart, soul, and your mind. But then when I get too far away from those moving averages, I'm now in stress. Don't know what the stock is going to do. Don't know how it's going to operate. Don't know how it's going to move. It could go up. It could go down. It could be all over the place. I'm feeling FOMO. That's when I am aware that I'm in a tree stand and I need to be waiting. I've done the time. I've done the energy. I've done all the work. Now I got to wait for my trade. So since we're talking about Coinbase right now and we're looking at it, my next comfort zone on Coinbase is going to be between 190 and 140. This right here will be comfort for me. This is where I will know, I will feel confident, I will feel secure, I will feel safe, I will feel like I'm making rational decisions, I will feel like I'm taking good trades that I've prepared for. And then as and most likely if Coinbase starts to pop back up into 220, I will experience some growth, potentially growth of capital, growth of opportunity, growth of awareness, growth of studying, growth of monetary maximization. And then if and when we get up into the 300s, at that point, we'll be too far away from the long-term moving averages. I will then again enter into stress. And when I'm entered into stress, what I want to do, I want to make sure that I'm not in positions. I want to make sure that I'm locked in my profit. And I begin to plan for the next trade. And I do not just go to a random person's backyard and start hunting for squirrels. If I'm a deer hunter and I am planning on what I want and how I want to do it, I know exactly where the deer are, or I know where the fish are going to be, or I know where the animal that I'm hunting is going to be located. I'm going to go there. And there's seasons, there's times, and there's time windows where you can engage with that. just like the markets, right? There are time windows when you should be engaging in the market because everything is cyclical in life. And there will be times that you should really be taking a dramatic pause, waiting, pausing, collecting yourself, planning, thinking of your trades, being in cash, allowing your cash to sit there, being in total dry powder, ready to take action when the opportunity arises. So here on Coinbase, that's a trade that you can take advantage of in the next couple of days or weeks, most likely probably end of April, early May. Go ahead and plan for that, schedule it. A tip that has helped a lot of traders is take a screenshot and copy the link of a particular chart that you have drawn here. And when you copy this link, you can then go and put it into your calendar. So you pop open to your calendar, click on your calendar, and 3 or 4 weeks down the line, you can put study this chart, review this analysis. Put that link into your calendar and get that auto reminder so that in 3 weeks from now, you get the chart with the, hey, dum-dum, this is past you telling present you, because it's present now in the future, what to do. And you can start acting on that analysis. That's the way that you will make the most amount of money. Planning your trades ahead of time, following your analysis, waiting for the opportunity for the trade where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe, where you feel known, heard, and seen. And it doesn't have to be all up in the stress mode of this is FOMO. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know anything. That's okay. Don't take trades there. Don't fire your gun. Don't pull your bow and arrow. Go and practice. Go and sharpen those tips, sharpen those swords, and prepare for another day and another trade. Hope this video was helpful. And if you hated it, it's okay. I'm still going to make more. Thanks so much for watching. You rock.